Good morning. It is Friday, which means it is the day before a market. It's Friday, December 5th, and I have the Orange Center School market tomorrow morning. I think I've got to be there at 8 o'clock. I will check. But today is just basic leftover prep, packing the car, making sure we have a lunchbox of snacks, and just finalizing everything. I have my project bag right here that has some white yarn and my pattern book. I'm going to be working on a stork pattern right now. I have already updated all of Square and my Excel sheet, I believe. I will double check that. And then, my husband is getting me 2 pieces of wood so that I can make a similar setup to this creator, Sam. I forget her name, but she sent me pictures of her setup through TikTok, and it's amazing. Shout out to her. Go follow her. She's pretty cool. But I wanted to kind of steal that idea because these next few markets, I only get like a 8-foot table area, and I don't have an 8-foot table. I have a 6-foot table, but I have the grid cubes, whatever you want to call them. But I have those grid organizers that I can do on the sides, and she had a way to balance them across, which I really liked. I don't think I'm going to do the full cubes up at top. I think I'm just going to leave it flat and have a back so that I can balance like my bigger items, like my dragons, because they're pretty cool, but reality is nobody's going to be paying $150 at a very small town school craft fair. And that's okay. It's just to draw your attention, and especially if it's high up, it's gonna work phenomenal. So we're gonna do that, hopefully. And I'm just working up on that stork. I don't think I absolutely won't be able to finish it today, but it's fun to try. And then I think I'm going to be working on some other parts to some YouTube videos that I am currently filming. What I didn't realize with creating content on YouTube is you are literally filming like 5 different videos all at the same time. That's insane. And so it's really challenging me to get my organization down because I suck at organization. Plus my phone is not the best. I have an iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 17 just came out, so I am many back. And my storage likes to fill up really fast. So I've put the majority of my photos on a hard drive just because like I had, call it 60 gigabytes of photos that were just of my daughter's first year. Like they really are not lying. When you become a mom, your camera roll just becomes your kid. And I had so many videos, like 2-minute videos of her trying to crawl that I just didn't want to get rid of. So I put them on the hard drive. And now I have space to actually use my phone for my business related items and not just personal. So next year's goal is probably going to be upgrading my phone as well as my computer. My computer's old and crappy and doesn't do anything. We've got a lot of technology upgrades to do, but that will be far distant future. Tomorrow morning, my husband is planning on following us there if the roads are good. If not, he's just gonna drop us off. But he's gonna follow us there and help set us up, like unload the car, because carrying my daughter, watching her, making sure she's all good, and unloading the car is a little much for me right now. Especially because anything that presses on my tummy, it just hurts. But he's gonna help us set up, and that will be a huge help. And then he'll probably come home, because we're working on finishing our basement right now. We want a nice finished family room down there before the next baby comes, so before April. If he's not dropping us off, I'm just gonna do cleanup on my own. If he is dropping us off, obviously he'll come back and pick us up as well. And I think he's doing that for next weekend as well, since it's a shorter distance. Before we go to market tomorrow, I wanted to put down some numbers of profit that I'd like to make. So bare minimum, obviously quite basic, would be $30, just because that is my booth fee. Middle ground, based off of how last year's went, I'd like to make $80 profit. So I guess before booth fee is taken out, that would be $110. So $30 for my low goal, $110 for my medium goal, and then the crazy top goal would be $250. Not gonna happen, but optimistic. These prices, or these profit numbers, are just based off of how last year's event went. Last year's event, we did have a blizzard right through it, so I'm hoping that weather will be good. We just had our 2 kind of like snow dumps this week already. We had one Monday, Sunday, Monday, and then we had one yesterday. So I'm hoping that weather stays nice for today and tomorrow, just for the market. It is market day and we are on our way. We're running a tad bit late, but that's okay. I have everything packed up in the car, and my husband's going to do a Dunkin' run for me before he meets me at the event space, so he can just help unload the car and start on basically building up the cubes for me, because today I will be running the event solo with my daughter. So my last event I was completely solo, no daughter, and this one I will be just me and her, which should be okay. We might end up just being pretty rowdy and walking around. We did get sandwiches packed and snacks, and then we have goat's milk for my daughter as well as 2 frozen water bottles in the car. But I am going to touch base when we're either setting up or we are completely set up. It is Monday, December 8th, and I am freezing, but let's go over what happened at my market over a nice cup of tea. I'm drinking peppermint tea. It's my weakness, especially around the Christmas season. This was a market that I had done previously last year, and my daughter was like 7 weeks. So it was pretty cool for her to be able to just walk around at this market this time, instead of taking a nap in a tote or just being baby worn the whole time. I'd say this market went pretty well. Unloading was a little interesting. what I had to do was I brought my daughter in, and I brought in the playpen, and once the playpen was set up, I put my daughter in the playpen and she started screaming her head off. So that was fun. She calmed down perfectly fine as soon as I got her books so that she could sit down and flip through them, because right now we're in the obsessed, like book obsessed stage, which I am all for. But once she had her books, she was content, and I was actually able to bring in all of the stuff. And at one point, the event organizer, she also had a booth there. She comes outside and starts helping me unload, which was so nice and sweet. She did not have to do that at all. The plan had been that I bring my daughter to the event and I have my husband follow behind us. He was doing a Dunkin' run for us so that she could have breakfast, and he was running a little late. So by the time he got there, he actually didn't have to unload and do anything. He just dropped off food, and he helped feed our daughter breakfast, and that was it. So his job was pretty easy. Thankfully, we didn't have to drive too far for this event. I set up my booth pretty similar to how I normally do it for an 8-foot section, just because I haven't found anything else that works. Obviously, the more markets you go to, the more you can change your setup and find things that work for your markets and your products and how to basically cater to the audience. But I used a 6-foot table and then a 4-foot table to give me just 2 more feet on the edge. And then on the other side, I actually started stacking up my cube organizers, like the metal grates. And I stacked them, I want to say 4 or 5 high. And I didn't have the bottommost one open for products because obviously we're in Vermont, there's snow, and when people come in for events, it gets really dirty, so I didn't want product that close to the ground. So in the 3 or 4 other ones, I started stacking things, and it was really nice because I had the wire, paper organizers from the dollar store, and they work really, really well. But I had those full of my turtles and my mushy boys, and I was able to nicely fit them in that square footage area and then have like a mini brontosaurus on the side. So that looked very neat for me, and then it opened up a lot of my table area to have my other small items. And then on like half of my table area was basically all of my larger items. So I'd say $25 and up items were on that side. I did not get any footage, which is unfortunate, but I'm still working through the whole like social anxiety and filming out in public, because whereas if you go to maybe bigger cities in Florida, or especially Los Angeles and New York, you see people just like filming wherever they're talking to their phone. Here in Vermont, that's wild. That's unheard of. I'm also really conscious of getting other people in my video, and I don't want to film anyone without their consent. So it was difficult to have my camera set up in a way where you could see me and not my daughter or the booths next to me. If I was in a corner space, I think I would have probably been able to do that if I got past the social anxiety bit, though. If you have any tips on how to get through that, maybe it's just exposure therapy, but I could probably use them. The market itself wasn't really busy. I thought it was really good. I thought it was better than last year. Looking at the numbers, it actually wasn't, which is surprising because I had a lot more fun at this market. And that might have been because instead of 2 months postpartum, I have a 1-year-old and I'm in the second trimester, so I feel great. I'm not sick. I have some more strength back. I lost a lot of the weight that I had gained in my first pregnancy. Just saying. I had gained 80 pounds and then I lost 30 after birth, and I worked really, really hard to lose 37. I almost did 40 and then I got pregnant again. So anyway, enough about that. Even though it wasn't busy, we were able to walk around and stuff, and we still made sales. We did make our booth fee back, so that was my baseline goal, and I'm super happy that I did that. My daughter had a blast there. She was able to walk around and say hi to everyone's booth, and she even like walked behind people's booths and was getting into purses, and everyone just was adoring her. And I had some vendor friends that were there as well. They have a local farm down in Tunbridge, and they even stole her for like an hour so I could just sit down and relax, which was nice. And pickup also went just as nicely. I had my husband take my daughter home early, so I called him to come earlier than 4 o'clock because she was just fussy. She was tired, she wasn't eating, she was just starting to throw tantrums, so she needed to go home. And even he said like, it's time. She was way overstimulated. So he came to her rescue, took her home, and I just packed up on my own. Or I thought that's what I was going to be doing. I actually packed everything up and I was about to start moving everything out into my car, and by the second load of things that I was moving to my car, people just started grabbing my stuff and helping me move it to the car. So that was really nice. I ended up only having to take like 3 trips. The event organizers are amazing for this one. It's just a family that runs it, and I can't recommend this atmosphere enough. They were just so kind and considerate, and she made sure to put me away from the entrance so that my kid wasn't getting cold, because she had remembered from last time that, you know, I bring my kid to the events. So that was very considerate. She didn't have to do that, and I didn't even request it. As for profits, our booth fee, which we made back, was $30. So it increased in $5 from last year. Last year I paid $25, which isn't that big of a deal. For $30, I didn't mind having a day where my daughter could just roam around and socialize, because there was another little girl there that played with her. The inventory that I brought was $2,033, I believe, and I sold 7 items for a total of $54. So taking out my booth fee, I only made $24, which, I mean, I made a profit more than the booth fee, so that's just impressive on its own. That's nice, because I have been doing really small markets, not well known or well publicized, or I should say advertised. But yeah, I made profit, which was the base goal that I had. I call that a win. Someday I'll be going to events where my base goal is actually like $200. we're not there yet. Maybe next year. With the $54 though, that's not including 2 of the items that I sold because I didn't take cash for them. There was no money involved. Like I said before, I have a vendor friend that goes, and they are farm primarily goats, so we buy goat's milk from them because instead of transitioning my daughter from breast milk to cow's milk, we just moved to goat's milk. But her mom was also there selling ornaments and stuff, so her mom kept coming over and eyeing my little gingerbread people, and I love them. Oh my gosh, they're adorable. I want to keep them. But she was like, oh yeah, no, they're coming home with me. Like, that's no question, they're coming home with me. So I sell each one of them for $37, and putting that together, if I'm doing my math right, don't laugh at me, I suck at math. I think it's $72? No. 74? Yeah. Something. But they hadn't come by and gotten them, and then my friend, the farmer, she came over and she's like, would you take chickens for them? Because I know that you wanted chickens. And I had said that. I was like, I'll help butcher them. Like, if I get a discount on chickens, I'd like them. He was like, would you take a chicken? Would you take 2 chickens for them? Because I don't want to take them home. Because it was slow and no one had bought much from her in terms of the produce that she was bringing. So she wasn't selling the chickens or the caramels and stuff. She was just selling her soaps. Internally, it was rough because I wanted the $74. But farm-raised chickens that are butchered on the farm are pretty expensive. And that also saves me an hour-long drive to go pick them up. So I was like, yeah, I like making the gingerbread people anyway, so yeah, that's fine. So she came back with a bag of chickens and she's like, I put an extra there for you. So I got 3 chickens on top of the 2 quarts of milk I had asked for, because I was like, hey, we're running out of milk. Can you bring some to the event? So she brought it, and when she was asking if I would take chickens, I was like, do I have to pay for the milk? Like, can we just put that in on it too? And so yeah, I got 3 chickens and 2 quarts of goat's milk. And she was able to buy her mom the gingerbread man and gingerbread girl. So that was a nice little fun thing that happened. I'm not sure if I would do this event again, just because in comparison to a lot of my other events, it doesn't provide enough opportunity for profits. And that's just me looking at it from a business standpoint. If it was like, if I had a free weekend where no other main market or larger market was going on, I would totally sign up for this one again, because it's fun. I enjoy going, even if I don't make a profit. It's entertaining. I like the people that are there. If one of the bigger markets was happening though, I'd rather go to one of those and have a chance at making over $100. As for upcoming plans, this Saturday on the 13th, we have a market in Berlin. It's at the Berlin Elementary School, and That one is usually really small. They have some great vendors that show up. The booth fee for that one is $15. And on the next weekend, on Sunday, I have an event down at Pearl Street Pizza, which should be interesting because Pearl Street Pizza is a restaurant in like an Italian market. So it's on Main Street in Barrie, and you can't drive on Pearl Street, so I think I have to find parking on Main Street and then bring all my stuff in. And that market is also from 12 to 5 p.m. So I will definitely be doing that one solo.